guys and girls. Today we're going through the Airbnb business model using the business model canvas. I'm going to show you how the business makes money, how it works, and all the hidden secrets of everything. Ooh. So Airbnb is a company that has gone from absolutely nothing to one of the largest hotel companies in the world, with millions of rooms available for anybody and everybody to go and stay in. Traditional hotels are quaking in their boots because they have high fixed costs. They own bricks and mortar and have to rent it out. If they don't rent it out, they are in financial problems. If Airbnb doesn't rent a room out, it doesn't care. How does it do it? Let's find out. So Airbnb divides its customers up into two groups. It has guests, who are people who come and stay in the rooms, and has hosts who provide the rooms. Now, the hosts can be a variety of people. They can be normal people like you and me, renting out a spare room or a spare house that we've got. I know people who buy property to rent out as Airbnb. Finally, there are companies who now prepare rooms, or they have hotels and they put them out onto the Airbnb website for rental, because they get more access, more money, and it's faster and more efficient. So what are the value propositions of Airbnb? It's easy to book unique accommodation across the world. I suppose spelled accommodation wrong, sorry about that. Across the world, and it's easy to let a unit for a short period. So what do I mean by this? So if you've ever done much traveling across the world, you go and stay in a hotel and you get to stay in a nice cubicle that's air conditioned, hermetically sealed, and it always looks the same. Somebody was in there the night before, somebody's got to be in it the night after you. It is absolutely perfectly done, but a really, really boring and uninteresting place to stay. If you want luxury, it often gets very expensive if you're staying in a 5-star hotel in Riyadh, New York, or Hong Kong. Can you get better value? Can you stay somewhere interesting where the people really, really care about you and you're not paying through the nose? The other thing is, you can go out and you can rent accommodation for a short period. So a lot of the time, if you want to say go and stay in Bali or Bangkok and you want to room for a month, you've got a choice of staying in a hotel or or in a backpack hostel, and these aren't great. You can't get a long rental or a month rental at less than hotel prices. You can't get a lower cost rental for something as short as a month or a few weeks. Airbnb, by freeing up the spare capacity that people have in their homes and other areas, provides far more liquidity into the market, which allows for a lot more variety of rental terms and pricing opportunities. And so, coming back to the customer segments, what Airbnb does is it allows the guests far more places to stay, far more opportunities, far more niches for them to explore. So instead of having a very standardized 5-star hotel experience, they can choose from dozens and dozens of different types of home experiences. For the hosts, it's a way of maximizing the utilization of their properties, or basically getting some liquidity out of the houses. So if you've got a 5-bedroom house and you're only using 2 bedrooms, wham, there's a lot more you can be doing with that house, getting rental revenue from it when you're not there. And that's obviously great for a lot of people. So the customer relationships, you've got the self-service platform where pretty much everybody, you go on a list, you go to the platform and you book your accommodation and then go. There's also a fairly robust customer service because a lot of people worry about, okay, I'm going and staying in some in this random house. It's not a hotel. It hasn't got all the safety and security features of a typical hotel. Am I going to die? Similarly, for the hosts, right? Is somebody going to come in, have a wild party, and I'm going to come in and find my house totally trashed, burnt out, being raided by the police or whatever? And there have been cases like this, So Airbnb has a very robust customer service to basically put these fears to rest, and when incidents do happen, to help guests and hosts resolve them very quickly and efficiently. The channels, basically you've got the big website, where you've got all the listings, but a lot of it you get the hosts are also doing their best to advertise their own property. So because they want to sell as much room space as possible, so they look for opportunities where they can promote the house. As they promote the house, that then sends traffic back to Airbnb. Also, you get a lot of referrals. People say, oh, I used Airbnb, you ought to try it because I got such a great room. And by word of mouth, it spreads. In the last year, I think I've had about 15 or 20 people say they've used Airbnb to me. I haven't heard anybody say, oh yeah, and I stayed in the Four Seasons in Singapore and it was brilliant, you should go. And people don't recommend hotels in that way any longer unless they are particularly special hotels and you belong to the same market segment that would appreciate the hotel. It's far easier to recommend Airbnb because it provides so much choice that's going to fit you, even if you're a different customer type than your friend who's saying that he enjoyed it. And finally, you've got the search engine marketing and display ads, where Airbnb is bringing in traffic from all over the web. They famously pillaged Craigslist when they first started off, finding opportunities on there, and basically re-advertising them using the platform and then getting the owners on board, which was a really, really clever marketing hack, though I believe that's now been closed. And the revenue stream is basically commission on the reservations and the bookings that are made through the platforms. There are other small things, various fees, but these are fairly marginal as the whole platform goes. So how do they do this? Well, obviously they've got the Airbnb platform that allows everything to be booked, and now they've got millions of listings. And again, this is a business that works well on network effects, because the more listings they've got, the more attractive they are to the guests. The more guests that they've got, the more hosts will come on and put the listings, and so you get this virtuous circle happening that is then a very, very effective barrier to other people. Obviously, because it's a network effect, if somebody else comes up with a better model, then this will mean that Airbnb will decline almost as fast as it's grown, as the network effects go into reverse and unwind. So what is the value of buying a fax machine nowadays? Yeah. The key activities most of the time is the platform optimization. So that's making the platform UI and a UX better, but there's also the merchandising on the platform. And normally we talk about merchandising in supermarkets and shops. How do we arrange the goods to get the maximum sales from people walking through the shops? Here in Airbnb, there's a lot of effort going in behind the screen. So what is somebody looking for? How, if they don't like the first place, how do we make sure that all the other choices that we showed them are the best choices for them to increase the sales, the booking, the conversion rate, so that people don't look at Airbnb and then go and book somewhere else? How do they get people coming back? This is absolutely key to the Airbnb continued success, and that is how they deliver the value proposition to the guests and to the hosts. What are the key partners? The key partners are the lobbyists, because on the one hand, you've got hotels seeing a lot of their businesses being disrupted as people don't stop, as businessmen, for example, stop staying in hotels and start using in Airbnb accommodation. They're losing market share. They've got big businesses, so they hire lobbyists to go after lawmakers to say Airbnb is acting illegally or against particular local or state requirements. And so Airbnb has to have its own lobbyists to prevent its business from being shut down, manage the regulatory risk. Increasingly, they're working with corporate travel companies, so they're able to access the much larger corporate market, which every year spends hundreds of billions of dollars on accommodation for executives as they travel for meetings around the world, and the travel managers there. So how do they access those markets? Working with them. And then the cost structure is a massively scalable cost structure, because once you've built the platform, the marginal cost of adding an additional guest or an additional host is very close to zero. Once you've got you've captured the new user, the customer acquisition cost is probably fairly high. I don't know the figures, but then you keep them coming back with the self-service time and time again, so you get a fairly robust lifetime value for the customer. This is the business model canvas, the business model for Airbnb. I hope you now understand how it makes its money, how it delivers value to guests and hosts, and the problem that it solves. My name is Denis Oakley. I build, design, and optimize business models. If you'd like to know more, head over to denis-oakley.com or browse the YouTube channel for other business models of tech companies. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. More videos are coming every week.